Once I sniffed that for the first time, I couldn't stop.
You couldn't stop?
Didn't want to stop. The only thing that I think about is my children and how they didn't deserve to be born with a mother with this addiction. My main goal is to get clean and to stay clean.
The United States is the wealthiest nation on earth. Yet people still claim it can't offer its citizens a simple place to rest. Is that really true? In 2025, Homeless in America has reached a deeply troubling new height. From the packed avenues of Los Angeles to the frigid corners of New York City, the situation has escalated into a full-blown national crisis. Rows of tents now line entire blocks. Sidewalks shelter thousands, and public parks have turned into temporary villages. Based on the most recent federal report, more than 720,000 individuals lack secure housing, a staggering figure that keeps increasing despite political pledges and billions spent. This is not merely a housing dilemma. It's a moral, financial, and governmental breakdown happening before our eyes. For generations, state and federal authorities have introduced policies, enacted laws, and expanded resources to tackle homelessness. Still today, a record number of Americans sleep outdoors each night. Why do these initiatives continue to miss the mark? Who is truly aided and who remains forgotten? In this film, we closely examine the regions most impacted the centers of America's homeless emergency to uncover what failed and what could still change. But first, let's take a deeper look at the harsh truth slowly consuming the nation. How did the wealthiest nation on earth end up at such a desperate turning point, with homelessness in America spiraling out of control? In 2024, homelessness in America climbed to historically unmatched levels. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's 2024 Annual Homeless Assessment Report, roughly 770,000 people faced homelessness on any given night, marking an 18% jump from the prior year. Nearly 150,000 were minors, and chronic homelessness, defined as ongoing or recurring experiences, now impacts over 152,000 people, with about 65% of them remaining unsheltered. Multiple structural causes have fueled this steep surge. First, housing affordability has hit a breaking point. By 2024, California alone represented more than 160,000 homeless individuals, accounting for almost 28% of the nation's total. Soaring rents and flat wages, particularly after the pandemic, have forced many into financial instability. Excessive housing costs and an inadequate social support system have pushed the number of people experiencing homelessness to its highest level since tracking began. Skid Row, Los Angeles. Skid Row is likely the most notorious homeless district in America. Located in central downtown Los Angeles, it spans multiple blocks and shelters an estimated 4,000 Aussies to 6,000 unhoused people. Many stay in tents or makeshift cardboard huts surrounded by trash rats and endless noise. Mental illness, substance abuse, and neglected health conditions are widespread. Emergency crews are constantly visible, yet they rarely bring lasting progress. Over time, city leaders have tried numerous cleanups, outreach efforts, and housing programs, but most have failed to achieve lasting impact. Court decisions have limited the city's power to clear encampments unless enough beds exist, which they usually don't. Skid Row painfully represents how complex, broken, and entrenched homelessness in America has become. It shows the result when decades of failed policy and disregard accumulate literally on city sidewalks. Venice Beach, Los Angeles. Venice Beach once stood as a perfect image of California's relaxed coastal vibe, but today it paints a very different picture. The boardwalk, once crowded with skaters and street artists, now also holds rows of tents, makeshift shelters, and scattered possessions. People sleep just steps away from fancy cafes and multi-million-dollar houses. Some are longtime locals who lost work or homes. Others struggle with addiction or mental health issues. Conflicts between residents and the unhoused happen more often, with some urging police involvement and others calling for empathy. Recently, city officials have offered temporary housing options, but many decline due to safety fears or strict regulations. Venice Beach has become an example of how a housing shortage mixed with inequality can reshape even iconic areas. It also shows a wider reality. Homelessness in America doesn't hide, it lives in plain view. Manhattan, New York. In Manhattan, the gap between luxury and despair is stark and impossible to miss. Among billion-dollar towers and designer stores, thousands of people rest on subway benches in park corners and beside offices. New York's shelter network is the nation's biggest yet. It's always overcrowded. Red tape, mental illness, and the rising cost of living push more people into homelessness. Pandemic eviction bans have ended, but rental prices continue to climb higher. For countless New Yorkers, homelessness has become so routine it's ignored, yet the crisis persists. Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, once a blue-collar borough, now stands as a symbol of reinvention and exclusion. As gentrification transforms areas like Bushwick and Williamsburg, lower-income residents get priced out, ending up unstable or homeless. The homeless here are less visible than in Manhattan, often staying in vehicles or surfing couches until options run out. Shelters are packed and waiting lists for supportive homes grow longer. Meanwhile, local tension builds as people argue whether it's policy failure or moral decline. In Brooklyn, the American dream feels deeply fractured. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix has one of the nation's most rapidly expanding homeless populations. With scorching summers topping 110 degrees outdoor living is not just harsh, it's dangerous and sometimes deadly. The city's zone. A vast downtown camp became controversial in 2024 after courts ordered its removal. But clearing tents never solved the crisis. Many simply relocated to nearby blocks or desert spaces, facing brutal conditions with no shelter. A shortage of beds limited treatment access and soaring rents have worsened everything. Despite official plans and ongoing lawsuits, tensions remain high. Phoenix now serves as a warning of what occurs when severe heat and housing failure collide in America's hottest cities. Kensington, Philadelphia. Kensington stands as ground zero for America's fentanyl crisis. Situated in North Philadelphia, it's recognized not only for homelessness, but also for open-air drug activity that shocks even longtime locals and first responders. People rest on sidewalks, slump beside abandoned buildings, or lie unconscious from overdoses in plain sight. The neighborhood exists in survival mode day after day. Charities and residents attempt to help, yet the scope of addiction is crushing and unending. Police presence has risen, but arrests alone haven't changed the situation much. Kensington reveals how substance abuse and homelessness fuel one another. It's not just a housing matter here, it's a public health catastrophe exposing how broken the system truly is. Tenderloin, San Francisco. The Tenderloin lies in San Francisco's core, only steps from City Hall and upscale hotels. Still on these blocks, homelessness, addiction, and poverty define everyday life. Sidewalks overflow with tents. People using drugs openly and volunteers distributing meals or sterile needles. City leaders have attempted both harsh crackdowns and harm reduction plans, but nothing seems to last long. Residents are frustrated, and visitors often leave stunned by what they see. The Tenderloin offers an unfiltered glimpse into what the homeless in America face right inside one of the richest cities on Earth, where high tech meets human tragedy on the same street. Capitol Hill, Seattle. Capitol Hill is famous for its creativity activism and progressive values. But lately, it has also become a center of Seattle's homelessness emergency. After the CHOP area in 2020, the camps never completely vanished. Parks and sidewalks still hold dozens of tents, and visible mental health crises occur often. Many locals feel torn between empathy and concern, unsure what to believe or endorse. Shelters remain packed, and city rent stays far beyond reach for many employees. While grassroots groups still advocate housing-first approaches, progress remains slow. Capitol Hill shows Seattle's difficulty matching strong ideals with concrete outcomes, and the cost of inaction increases daily. San Jose, California. San Jose anchors Silicon Valley housing tech titans and billion-dollar firms. Yet right outside these towers of glass, thousands live in tents, cars, or beneath bridges. The contrast is glaring and impossible to ignore. In 2025, the city drew national focus after clearing a vast encampment near Mineta Airport, uprooting hundreds without a lasting plan. High rents, unemployment, and limited affordable housing have all forced working families to the brink. Even full-time workers now reside in RVs and temporary shelters. San Jose proves that in today's economy, prosperity and survival can coexist side by side, yet remain worlds apart. Oakland, California. Oakland has long stood for activism culture and unity, yet it's now consumed by a mounting homelessness crisis. Tents and wrecked vehicles crowd main streets while burned-out lots and walkways turn into camps filled with despair. The city has tried to open safe parking areas and provide hotel vouchers, but need always exceeds capacity and funds run low. Many unhoused residents here are Black and Latino, revealing deeper roots of racial injustice and systemic neglect. At night, fires occasionally erupt in encampments, and violence is frequent. Oakland's plight feels raw, and immediate proof that homelessness in America isn't just expanding, it's intensifying block by block. If we hope to grasp the roots of homelessness in America, we can't overlook what's happening beneath the surface. Beyond tents and pavements, there's a deeper conflict unfolding quietly. One involving addiction trauma and mental disorders. These are not mere side concerns. They lie at the core of the crisis. For decades, the U.S. has approached substance abuse and mental health as two unrelated challenges. Even today, systems remain divided. One agency handles addiction, another oversees psychiatric treatment, and a third manages housing. But for those surviving on the streets, these battles often merge together. Someone who lost their job, began drinking, then fell into depression and became homeless doesn't need 3 separate appointments. They need one unified support system. Why is that so difficult to create? Much of the fault stems from outdated policy thinking. Rather than addressing causes, we target symptoms. Government funds still flow mainly toward policing and crisis response instead of prevention or recovery. Shelters might provide food and a bed, but they rarely employ full-time mental health professionals. Rehab facilities are scarce short-term and hard to reach without insurance or identification. 2 things many homeless individuals lack. For decades, the United States has relied on social welfare as a safety net, a system meant to catch people before they fall too far. Programs like Supplemental Security Income (SSI), Section 8 housing vouchers, Medicaid and SNAP benefits were designed to help the elderly, the disabled, and the poorest survive during tough times. And in many cases, these programs have succeeded. Millions of Americans rely on them each day to put food on the table, afford medicine, or remain in a home they might otherwise lose. In theory, these systems are intended to serve as a foundation offering people enough support to rebuild their lives. But for those living on the streets, reality looks very different. Though welfare programs still exist on paper, gaining access to them means navigating endless paperwork requirements, wait lists, and digital barriers. For instance, someone sleeping in a tent without ID, a phone or a mailing address might spend weeks just trying to apply if they even know where to begin. Without internet or transportation, following up on an application becomes nearly impossible. Some cities provide caseworkers for guidance, but demand far exceeds supply, and the waiting times are brutal. Getting housing assistance can take months, even years. Moreover, social welfare in America now often includes conditions many unhoused people simply cannot meet. Clean drug tests. Proof of job searches or mandatory check-ins might seem reasonable on paper, but how can anyone meet those standards while living in a chaotic camp without showers power or mental health care? Instead of offering support, the system frequently ends up punishing the very people who need help the most. In recent years, several states have reduced benefits or added new restrictions, citing fraud or budget issues. But here's the deeper truth. As the number of homeless in America continues to rise, the welfare system has not expanded alongside it. Instead, it's grown more limited, more selective, and far harder to navigate. Many have simply slipped through the cracks, not because they didn't try, but because the door was already half closed when they reached it. And for some, giving up became the only path left. Is it any wonder then that so many unhoused people no longer even try to apply for help? The process itself feels built to wear them down. There are still success stories, of course, individuals who received help and turned their lives around, but these are now exceptions, not the rule. The United States has long celebrated the idea that anyone can rise again with a little help. But when that help is buried beneath red tape mistrust and outdated rules, what hope remains for those already on the edge? The truth behind social welfare today is this: the system still matters, but it's insufficient, not accessible to everyone, and unfit for the complex crisis we now face. Without serious reform, it risks becoming a relic, well-intentioned, but powerless against the weight of modern poverty. And that makes solving homelessness in America even more difficult than it already is. In recent years, federal, state, and local governments have introduced a range of programs to address homelessness, each promising progress, but rarely achieving lasting impact. The most common model is known as housing first, an approach that prioritizes permanent housing before requiring treatment or work. Cities such as Salt Lake City and Houston have implemented this strategy with some success, particularly for veterans. Still, when scaled nationally, the results have remained inconsistent. Why does one city succeed while another fails? A major problem is scale. Housing first only works when enough housing exists, and many cities simply lack available units. Building affordable homes is slow, costly, and often blocked by zoning rules or local resistance. Funding is another major hurdle. Pandemic-era relief programs provided temporary resources, but most of that money has now run out. Without ongoing support, shelters shut down, outreach workers lose jobs, and newly housed people risk falling back into homelessness. Conclusion. The crisis of homelessness in America isn't only about poverty. It reflects deeper fractures in our politics' priorities and empathy. No single policy can solve it. But until we face the full scope of the issue with honesty and urgency, the suffering will persist, visible on every street and quietly spreading behind every broken system.